Okay, so Abby, you did not get a chance to, and Brenda, just so you know, I will, with your approval, send your film to Mr. Haberfelder. He has done thousands and thousands and thousands of reviews, and I'd like to do 1,001 and to
That'd
do
be
your
great.
film. Yes.
Thank you.
So, Abby, you did not see the film. I'll send it to you because it'll make you cry with the permission of Brandon, of course. It will make you tear up. Almost all of the cast, almost all the cast is here, right? Like the core, if you want to call it.
This is all of us.
We got everybody.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like the other guys, because you know you had guys at the party and things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there were-
Well, yeah, our featured extras are not here. That's true.
That's what I meant, the featured extras. Because I always like to say the whole cluster would be like everybody.
Sure.
So we'll start off with the director and then we'll meander around to each and every one of you at some point here. So Brandon, the first question I want to ask you is where did you develop that love of the whole black and white thing? Because I have to tell you, black and white works so well, but a lot of directors almost seem afraid to use that particular medium these days. So why black and white, and why the affinity or affection for it?
Well, to start, it's actually getting a bit of resurgence right now because a lot of indie up-and-comers are afraid of color grading. So they've actually just turned their movies black and white and been like, all done. But that wasn't the choice here. I do love black and white, but since it's not the preferred choice nowadays, there really does have to be reason behind making that choice. So in this particular piece, I wanted to simplify everything. I mean, you had our film last year. You had Binge Purge, which is a much more in-your-face kind of piece, and it's it's much quicker and it has a more aggressive energy. So I wanted to strip everything down for this particular piece, and I thought that giving it, like, this is such a cliche answer, but giving that timeless kind of feel to it. That it could have been made 20 years ago or 30 years ago or 40 years ago, because the themes we're exploring shouldn't be an issue. So I wanted to give it that sensation, that old kind of feel. It was a digital camera, so we added in the film grain effects that wasn't natural. Like, unfortunately we're not using real film, but yeah, that was mostly the decision behind black and white for this particular piece.
I'll piggyback on that a little bit for me, because people that are going to watch this panel are going to ask themselves, okay, so let's say I'm a director, and even a newbie director in particular, and let's say they're adamant about maybe even doing 35 millimeter and black and white, which would be a major challenge, but it sounds so exciting, doesn't it? So, and especially with today's technology, what would you say to them? I mean, how would you advise them? Because I can't even imagine how complex that is from start to finish, you know, even if you're a pro at it.
If you're in college and you get the opportunity to use film through your school, do it. Obviously do it. If you are a working class artist like myself, who foots most of the bills himself and around a day job like many of the people that I'm working with, do not put yourself through that. Right now, especially right now, there's no reason to go that route with how accessible and how powerful modern technology is right now. It needs to be about you telling a story. It doesn't matter whether you're using film or digital. And this is coming from a film lover. But so it's nothing against film. If I had unlimited resources and time, then, oh man, would I love my films to look like the master? You know, I would love nothing more than to be a Paul Thomas Anderson who is hardcore about sticking with film over digital. But realistically, I have stories that I want to tell, and I'm not going to let the fact that I don't have access to excess amounts of film to keep me from telling those stories with the people that I want to work with. So I would recommend to people, even if you want to, if you have that romanticized thought in your head, I respect that. I have it too, but you're just using it as an excuse to hold yourself back. Unless, again, if you're in college and they have access to it, you know, go to town. Go to town. Take advantage as much as you can if you have that. Yeah.
You know, if I could chirp in here for a minute. One of the few filmmakers I know who still shoots on film. Yeah. He slogs through it with Ultra 16 these days. Gets a beautiful result, but he just will not let it go, even though the film companies, the makers, the processors still do it. They keep upping the expense of it all the time. It's like the cable company; they're taking advantage of the few customers they have left. So it's very, like what you're saying, it's very depressing. They're making it impossible.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult. I mean, I did photography as well as filmmaking for a long time, and two of the cast members, Cassidy and Elizabeth, both went to college with me, and they can attest that I was still using a film camera then, and I was holding out as long as I could, even though there was digital available. Yeah.
Points for effort.
Right.
Brandon, can I ask you one more question? If you don't mind?
Please.
Oh, wait, let me just interject before you ask you the other question. Just so you know, I don't think I introduced you, but this is my partner for Bedford Falls.
Hello.
So when you submitted to Bedford Falls, this is the Bedford Falls team right here. But now you may go ahead.
Sometimes she shucks these interviews on me entirely, but you got
gotcha.
the real thing here.
You got the real thing because I like them so much, and they terrify me in such a good way. Look at how pretty they are.
Yeah.
Like, look at how pretty everybody is on this screen right now. I'm not lying to you, and he'll tell you I'm pretty blunt. Pretty. Lots of pretty. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet now.
I just want to make sure to ask, because as an actor, of course, casting, things like that are the most interesting. And you had such a great assembly of people here, such a diverse cast of just interesting faces, interesting personalities and all. What's your method in finding all these unique people who don't look like actors?
Don't look like, well...
typical actors.
Sure. Method. Well, there's a couple things. One, I pick the people that can act, and before anything else. Like I'm a writer first, and director second. So if I find someone that can act, I will write for them, and I will write to their strengths, and I'll also write to stretch them and to go to areas they've never been to or places they're afraid to go, as long as they're willing to go there with me. And in the case of this cast, everyone on this film I had worked with before. So in the case of Cassidy and Felicia, I wrote these roles specifically for them ahead of time. And then I had Elizabeth and Jenna and Therese in mind for the other ones. But after I wrote specifically for Felicia, from having worked with her very briefly on In Sight of Zikra, I knew I wanted to work with her again because I felt that she was incredibly natural. And Cassidy and I had worked together several times, mostly in college, and then we worked on a film I did in 2012. And but it'd been so long since we worked together, and I wanted to explore something with how much I've learned and how I've grown as a filmmaker. I wanted to bring in someone I love and care about and have known for so long, to take part in that and go on that journey with me. And Elizabeth, I've known for just as long, since college. We've worked together 1,000 times. And Jenna and I had just worked on a feature film called The Worry Doll and a 10-episode limited series called Price of Fairy Tales. And, she's one of my muses. So naturally, I offered her a role pretty much right away. And I loved working with Therese on that same limited series, Price of Fairy Tales, and was very impressed with her work. And so, she was, everybody that I offered it to first was who took it, and they were all who I wanted first. So really, it was just a matter of, I need to believe it. If I believe my cast members, then I feel like I can share that same belief with those that are taking part in it and give it something real and natural and honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's enough variables in filmmaking. It's nice to know you can assemble such a cast and basically relax knowing that they're fully capable and more.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's all thanks to me. I did the casting, and yeah.
Well, that's the work. You did the work, right? You put the perfect people in, so it's autopilot, right, for you?
Yeah, sure. It's autopilot. Yep, that's job's over.
Look at that! My God. Okay, so I have got to ask the cast this question because I've obviously been talking to Brandon. So tell me, any of you, all of you, what your experience is like in terms of why you want to work with Brandon, even if you're a repeat player per se, what keeps you coming back, or if it's a first time or whatever, why work with him? But more importantly, what does he bring to the table as a writer and a director that other sets may not have necessarily? And does he ever smile? Because he's like pretty serious here a lot. And then I worry about that.
He totally smiles a lot and laughs. And when he decides to laugh, he's very loud about it.
Ah.
Yeah, he's an enormous goof, actually.
Really?
Don't let the serious artist persona that he's putting out there fool you. He is a
Lies.
funny guy.
Look at that. Just look at it. Because look at how serious he's been this whole time.
Lies.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'd be
lies.
afraid
That's
to go
what
on
those
set.
are.
Like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, all 16 years I've known you.
find-
They're all lies.
I think what you might be seeing is probably how thoughtful Brandon is. And for me as an actor, that's one of the things that makes me trust him as a director and as a writer. Like, before he gives you notes, you can see him thinking through it, processing it, weighing it against, like, I'm not even sure what's going on in that brain. Like, I can't pretend to understand, but I know as an actor, like, I feel an immense trust, like, when I'm in the rehearsal room and when I'm on set with Brandon. That is something that I do think I lack on other sets sometimes. I don't feel that same energy.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Elizabeth, what about you? What's your experience with Brandon?
Well, like Brandon said, we've known each other for many years. I don't know. What are we going on? Like almost like 15, 16 years now?
Oh my
Cassidy
God.
was right. It's 16 this September.
It's a long time.
Which
that
is
we've
this
known each
month,
other.
so it's
Wow.
16.
Yeah.
I think there's a comfort in knowing how we, how both of us work together. Like, we know how to bring out the best work in each other. I've actually worked with him a little bit too on stage, because that's where our background is from theater. And I appreciate that we have the rehearsal process that we do with Brandon, and that we're able to have the time to be able to, delve into our characters more and to be able to find the things that we need to get to a genuine place with our characters. And he gives us that chance to do that.
And it's
And
funny. I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, that was it. Yeah,
I have a piggyback question on that, and forgive me, I don't know if any of you feel the same way, but as I was watching this, one of the things that seems so obvious to me is this could easily be transferred to theater, and why hasn't it? Why hasn't it been a stage production?
Fun. Wow.
Well,
I mean, am I wrong?
no, it's funny because most of us have at least some background in theater. I mean, that's
Right.
that's how I learned to act, was through the same theater department that Brandon and Elizabeth were in. Yeah, it's that's the whole source of my training. I don't have a lot of film experience like some of his other cast members. Unfortunately, I'm one of the first ones here to become a parent, so I haven't had as much time to do that. And to go back to one of the questions that you asked earlier, one of the things that brought me back to him is that, I know how to work with him. I know what he's looking for. He knows what I'm capable of, and we can work around each other's schedules. And when those things all come together, then that means that, we both get to do something that we really enjoy doing. And especially for me, it's something that I don't get an opportunity to do as much as I used to.
Sure.
So it's,
This
it's
was
just one of those matches.
Ah, okay.
This was my second time working with Brandon, and the first time it was like home, literally.
Oh.
The cast that he chooses is always, it's like a family. And I knew nobody from I think the first film was Inside of Zerka, and I think I met everybody that day.
Yeah.
Literally was so comfortable and easy, and he makes it so easy to work for. I think he just really gets people and what they're capable of. It's an amazing experience to work with him. This film was my second experience with him, and as you can see, this cast, I mean, I love these ladies.
I'm sure.
We love you,
We love you
Felicia.
too.
I mean, it's like, that's one of the things that I wanted to say to Felicia. there were three things that I took away from you. And like I said with the earlier panel, I love all of my actors. Well, I love actors in general, but there's always certain actors that stand out to me in any movie. You know, first time I saw him, he stood out immediately. You, young lady, Felicia, stood out to me. For one, I'm assuming Brandon wrote the layers line from the movie. And it's not just the way it's written, because I'm a writer myself. Not only do I love the way it's written, but it was how it was said and how you enunciated it, or how you actually brought that out. I said to myself, I want this woman to be my mother. And I kid you not, I'm like, because I'm, you know, you just get absorbed by the affection and the adoration and the way that you're speaking to one another, and how you literally put so much bravado into your dialogue. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but it's just so deep. Everything that you speak is done so deeply.
Thank you. I think that's a combination of his words and the cast. Like
Sure.
working closely with Elizabeth on this film, our chemistry was just natural, I think. And it just makes it that much easier when you're given words that Brandon creates to relay the message. And it was great. Great.
Gotcha. I want to know, with all the cast here collectively, I always like to think in my head, and I could surely see a mix-up of couples here. So was this always the original plan, or did you guys go to him and be like, you know what, Brandon, I think this would work? You know, because I could have seen Cassidy with Elizabeth, or I could have actually seen you, young lady, meaning Felicia, with you. Do I say Torres? Is that right? I want to pronounce it.
Oh, Therese. Yeah.
Therese. So you and Therese together. You know what I mean? I could see a shifting. Was that ever a possibility, or were you just staunch on this is the way it's going to be?
Well, I just did. I mean, I knew who the cast was going to be to begin with.
Okay.
But the hope is that it's not. It's. I appreciate that you feel that way, because I wanted the and this sounds really corny, and I realize that, but the love of the piece to jump intermittently between all five of them with no regard to whether it was romantic love, or paternal love, or sexual love, or all the love is under the same umbrella in this piece, so that regardless of whether it's, you know, daughter, mother situation, or lacking a parent in general, or the craving of romantic love from somebody else, that none of that would be that there'd be no roadblocks, that you could draw those lines in your head and go, wait, who is supposed to love who in this? Like, that should not, like, the fact that you thought that means that was working, that it was that there was no boundary saying, well, only these characters will work together, or only these characters are allowed to love each other. Like, that their love is love, which is because it's safe to say here, it's like, that's why we use that as the password to be able to watch the movie for film festivals. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, it is because that it really should be as simple as that. As like, I was gonna, on a note to that, like the title, like I hated the title for the longest time, and I was like, this is placeholder, guys, and we're not keeping this. It's too on the nose. Like, we cannot have a title like simple as that. And like every time I went to change it, I was like, but it's just that simple. Like, it's just that simple. So we're just leaving it.
And I feel like the love the cast kind of had for one another too really helped to enforce that sort of what kind of love is it, because I think like everybody just got along so well on that level that there was so much love involved. And as far as working with Brandon, I mean, one thing I can say about Brandon as a director is he will push you, and he's one of the best directors I've ever had, if not the best, just due to the fact that he'll take you to an uncomfortable place, sometimes kicking and screaming, knowing you have to go there. Like, you know, sometimes I'll be digging my heels in, and I'll be like, Brandon, I don't know. And he will take you there. And the thing is, there's an immense trust there. Even when the anxiety starts to take over and you feel like, you know, can I do this? He always will guide you there. And he puts so much thought and effort into letting you discover for yourself as well. He will give you just enough to let you make the connections. And that's, I think, what makes him great director, great to work with.
Look at that. You know what I think is really cool? And I'm not going to lie to you, because I've interviewed about hundreds and hundreds of filmmakers. It's not always this pleasant. Like sometimes it's, oh my God. Like the stories I hear sometimes like, oh my God, I'm on the set, and this is hell, and it's all night, and they're not organized, and what are they doing? And they have no clue. This is so refreshing to see this. I know this is a quirky, weird comment or question, but I'm allowed to do that because I'm very inquisitive and I'm a journalist, so we want to know everything. What up with the wardrobe? Because I'm like, did he just give you free reign, not only with wardrobe, but with lines? Because I get the sense that Brandon is pretty much structured in terms of here's script, etc. So how much are you allowed to go outside of the box and improv as well?
I'll speak on that first because I think Brandon had a lot of impact as to the wardrobe that we chose. But we all agreed when he made his suggestions. He, you know, for my character, Bernadette, he really wanted something, you know, sort of artsy. And we went with that. And he actually pointed me to the direction of a designer that he knows very well. And
Nice.
It was great. I think he did a great job of what he had envisioned for each of us and what we all came to decide on wearing. So it worked really well.
Anybody else?
I mean, I'm like 10 feet from everything that I wore in the movie, so.
Oh, God. Really? That's always good though, because like it's all at home, so I don't have to spend any money and all that good jazz and stuff. And none of you people look like you need any damn makeup either. I'm like, they probably didn't need hair. They didn't need any makeup. I love you and I hate you all at the same time. I mean,
Well, it's funny
flat
because
head and no makeup.
Because Redna's talking earlier about advice on how to do things with a shoestring budget, and I saw all of us laughing because what did it cost us? Like $0 to film this movie?
That's awesome.
Honestly, on this one, well, we had the advantage of I had just recently got a new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K camera, so that was a serious upgrade for us because for the longest time I was using a pretty low standard DSLR, so we had a step up in that department. But budget wise, I think I bought some lenses that cost some money for me. Felicia spent some money on her costume, and I know that Felicia came out of pocket a little bit, which is one of the many reasons. She also lined up locations for us, and Felicia isn't just amazing in front of the scenes, but Felicia is amazing behind the scenes too, which is why she has an associate producer credit on this. And
Nice.
even when I don't have a role for her in films, you know, I won't always have a role for her. I always want her involved behind the scenes because she's incredibly, you know, good at that aspect. So some money came out of there, but I would say if I had to put a price tag on it, I would say between $200 and $500 was spent between lenses and.
Oh my God.
But I mean, we did a feature film in 2017. It came out that we did on $1,000. So I mean, for me, the people that I pull in, you know, a lot of us have worked together before, and I think that actors respond to work that makes them feel like artists, not people that are doing a job. It is a job, don't get me wrong. Like, it's definitely a job and everybody deserves to make money. But until I'm making money,
a job.
yeah, it's definitely a job. But there's a certain aspect to them knowing that it's not like I'm making money. Like the second they see me in a nice big house or a new car, they can be like, Brandon, what's going on?
Where's the money?
Yeah,
I
but
get it.
We're all not making money together. And when we believe in what we're saying and what we're doing, you know, that goes a very long way. And when we believe in it, you know, we can create something really special and if you put in time, there's that college thing where what is it? Like you get to pick 3. It's time, quality, and money, and you get to choose 2 of them, right? So ours, because we never have money, is always, well, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time, but we're keeping that quality. You know what I mean? That's a big part of it. So yeah, not a big price tag for this one.
Nice.
So half the budget was spent on lunch, right?
Did we eat?
Cobbler?
I think,
I think we pretty much.
Yes, Jenna, because it was all shot in one day too. It was
Wow.
written in a single day, and it was shot in a single day. And we rehearsed for about 2 months, once a week, I'd say. And yeah, I think we braked because Cassidy and I had the longest day because we shot in sequence, which we don't always get to do. But Cassidy and I had the longest day, and Therese, you were with us too. And so I think we broke for food with Jenna doing that second scene at some point, I think.
Yeah, that was lunch. Was right before we filmed the second scene. Everybody sat down to a Subway sandwich or some nonsense like that, or maybe it was Burger King or something we picked up.
Right.
Oh my God.
And then we had appetizers at the house because the people that were hosting us,
Real appetizers.
they had
And wine.
real
and wine and
appetizers.
peach cobbler.
Yes,
Oh my
and
God.
peach cobbler.
And
yes.
the cobbler, of course. Oh my goodness, how impressive. Look at that. So apparently my actor is calling to say, why isn't the actor panel started? That means I've been so engaged, and that's not a bad thing. So I have a couple questions before I wrap up. First of all, is your gang, are you collectively doing the virtual red carpet either day?
What is the date?
I mean, it kind of depends on the day, but probably.
Okay. Brandon, did I give you the two options? There are two options because I'm doing an actual red carpet. So we're setting it up like a red carpet, the whole 9 yards. We have multiple reporters that come at you. So this time it's not just me. It's myself and then 3 other colleagues, and we alternate off, and we record that as well, of course. And it looks like a real red carpet. So we're basically asking everybody to dress up like you were on a step and repeat the whole bit and recreating everything in a neat little way. You'll see. The reason I'm asking is because if I know you're doing the red carpet, I'll leave the surprises. Because if you've been on my show, you would know I always have a surprise for everybody all the time. But if you're coming to the virtual red carpet, I'll save it.
Well, when exactly is it? Because I mean, a lot of like Jenna is in the medical field, and I know that she came straight from work for this.
Sure.
And,
Oh, sure.
yeah.
Okay. If it's a later day, we have two options. Friday, we're doing a red carpet, and Sunday morning, we're doing the red carpet. So Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Central, we have 3 films that are being done. Or else you could do Friday at, let me just, Michael, do you have my list? Boy, that sounds good. I want to say it's 6 o'clock Central Time on Friday. So either Friday or Sunday morning, you get your option, either or, if that works for you folks.
This Friday?
I know I can't make Friday personally. I can't speak for everybody else.
Same.
If I can get the mass majority,
that's tomorrow?
I'll take the mass majority. So Friday, it is, oh my God, that's tomorrow. I have the
Yeah.
red carpet tomorrow. Well, it all goes so fast, you know. So Friday is an option, Sunday morning is an option, and what other people don't know, don't tell that actor in there is another option for Sunday where you could come on later day Sunday if that works. And I mean, I'd love to have all of you. If I can't get all of you, I'll take whomever wants to do it. You know what I mean? I collectively prefer everyone, but it's entirely up to you folks.
Oh, heck.
I honestly, I wish I could commit to it, but I'm actually working on 2 features at the moment.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, and so we're fitting in rehearsals like wherever we can, and because one of them starts shooting a month from today.
Oh,
our first shoot is a month from today. So with COVID and everything like that, we're kind of like fitting in, like, do we Zoom or can we meet socially distantly in person? And yeah, so I'm hoping Sunday that I can make the awards aspect. That's in the evening, correct?
Yeah, the whole award ceremony is, we have our final film at 7 o'clock. That goes until 8:30. Then I'll do the Q&A. So at 9 o'clock, it's about an hour long for the awards. So it's 9 o'clock Central Time on Sunday. You're going to want to come to that. Many of you will want to come to that.
Okay.
And I wish
On
I could
9
tell you
p.m.
why,
Sunday?
but
I'm pretty sure.
this number looks familiar to me. This right here. Just gonna throw that out there. Not that I'm saying anything at all. Oh, I'm so excited!
I don't know what that number means, but I mean, I'm gonna try to make it.
I was worried about the love that your film was gonna get. I can tell you that the judges. One of the things that stood out. I was very sad that I couldn't judge you because I just refuse to judge anyone I know. I don't judge his films. I don't judge anyone close to me or a personal friend. What I can tell you though is if I had judged you, this is what I would have said. Anytime a filmmaker can take my heart and make it feel anything, it's impressive. But more importantly, you made me reevaluate love of family, love of friends, love of my partner, love of my life and my identity. Every single one of these people here represented something different to me. And I'm not sure if that's what you were looking for, but that's what I thought. Moreover, the judges were quite impressed, again, by the casting. Cinematography was a little higher than I thought it was going to be. I was a little worried about that particular one. But most importantly, what they were most curious about was, why isn't it going to be distributed right away? And that's an important element. You know, when people start talking about that, that's a big thing. So you should be very, very proud of yourself. You've done very, very well. As Brenda had mentioned, of course, she works with her partner and I work with mine. And so I got to look at him today and reevaluate and say, yes, that love is large, even though I'm mad or frustrated. And your work with this film supersedes just a film. It really is kind of a movement to love and to love well and to love hard and to love strong. And so that's what I took away. And so for the number 3, yes, you should come because yes. You've been nominated 3 times. And Brenda, you've been nominated 3 times. Okay, so now I squeal. Damn it. I can't do that anymore. I'm not supposed to. But, you know, I did order the trophies. So
You tried.
So it's exciting, right? So before I sign off here to get onto the actor panel, number 1, you're all invited to the actor panel because this guy right here who knows a whole lot about acting, and Brandon, I'll beg you if you cast him. I will so give you my last child if you do something with him because you guys would be wonderful together. Anyways, and who doesn't want to work with this guy, right? I mean, he's amazing. Okay, I'll stop fussing. Anyways, so I know him and Danny, and I don't say last names because I'm afraid I'm going to mispronounce, but Danny Telltale Heart, who is screening tomorrow, Ashka, I can't say it. Anyways, him and Michael are going to be doing the actor panel at 6:15. So I'm not too far behind. And then, of course, we have 3 more films tonight. So please join us if you can. I would absolutely love it. They have lots and lots of great advice to pass on. Sunday is the award ceremony. Like I said, please, Brandon, chit chat with everybody. Even if I have to take you separately. The red carpet.
Is that on Zoom also? Will that be?
Yeah. Sadly, everything is going to have to be virtual, which makes me sad because I was working for a live and a virtual both. But yes, it will be virtual. I also need to let all of you folks know, both directors on here, you are penciled to get at least 3 reviews, 3 interviews from my festival. And the very last thing, because I'll save the other thing for the red carpet, I would be honored for my October cover of my magazine if I could have all of you from Simple as That on my cover.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I think that's great.
Or Brandon's like, just put me on there. Brandon's like,
absolutely.
and he's smiling. Yay!
I've smiled numerous times tonight.
Yes, you did. Absolutely. You betcha. But yeah, so
I listen with a cool face. I listen and I watch things with a cool face. As a director, if you don't listen with a cool face, then everybody starts like taking it to mean something.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you give them a cool face and then you don't show your hand.
You betcha. Absolutely. So I appreciate all of the time. I realize that I took a little longer, but I always take a little longer. As Michael says, the end result is well worth it. I hope that I have served all of you very well. I certainly will have more new and interesting, fascinating questions for the red carpet. Miss Singleton, you did not tell me. Are you coming to the red carpet? You don't have to, because I know that that's like not your thing.
I think we can probably do the Sunday morning.
He said yes. I just like it when people say yes. I get all excited about that good stuff. Okay, wonderful. And you guys can stay in contact with me. I'll be up till the wee hours getting ready for tomorrow. So do please let me know. And again, thank you so much for all of your time. Please stick around for him. If you guys have time tomorrow night, he is screening tomorrow night. His film is here at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Yes, 9 o'clock Central Time tomorrow night. He plays his usual bad guy. So please tune in if you can. And now we're going to sign off. And I'll send you a copy of this when we get done, but please let me know about the red carpet, and congratulations all of you on your nominations. I hope you enjoy and celebrate tonight. I can't tell you what, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
Thank you so much.
Take all the beautiful faces off of here, and we'll see you at the actor panel. Happy you too. Bring your drink. Have a good night, guys.
Cheers, guys. Congratulations.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.